This is the story of John and Jane Jones, an everyday American couple who are in their retirement years and faced with difficult decisions regarding their investment strategies. This is John. He is 75 years old. John collects stamps, has a secret crush on Renee Zellweger, and a soft spot for his granddaughter Sophie. This is Jane. She is 74 years old. She is an avid gardener, baker extraordinaire, and has a deep attachment to American Idol. Jane and John are in love. In fact, they have been in love for 46 years and married for the last 42 years. And, by the way, Jane doesn't know about Renee. They've had their ups and downs, but they are here now, and that's all that matters. They're still married, with 3 children and 2 grandchildren. Life is good, but it wasn't always that way. In 1997, John and Jane had $520,000 saved. 2000 came, and they were up to $920,000. In 2001, the tech bubble and 9/11 came, and by 2002, they were down to $570,000. They called their broker, and he told them to wait it out. What goes down must go up. And in 2007, they reached a new high of $940,000. In 2007, John decided it's time to retire. But of course, John got bored enjoying retirement all by his lonesome. And in 2008, he convinced Jane to retire as well. They had $910,000 to enjoy in their retirement. But they were still getting a little antsy. Within a year of Jane retiring, they went down to $520,000. They called their broker and got the same story. Surely this is done. What goes down must go up. John couldn't shake that sickening feeling he had. Jane and John had their money in the good old S&P from ages 20 and 21, and they made a lot of money in the stock market. Now, if you don't know, the stock market has a trend. Every 5 years, it has a dip. The problem is when you are close to retiring or retiring, you can't afford those dips, especially if you're like John, who just retired, or like Jane, and your husband just made you retire, because he wants to believe that what goes down must go up. So they are retired. And they want to enjoy gardening and stamping and Renee Zellweger and American Idol, but none of those things will make them any more money. By 2012, they were up to $640,287, and somehow they made it into my office. It was my job to stop the bleeding and preserve their money. When John came into my office, I swear to you he was in love with his broker. Well, that happens a lot. I do not understand what these brokers are doing to make you guys love them so much. John said, "My broker says I invest in the markets for the greater upside potential." And I said, "Sure. And take the risk of the market downturn with your retirement. Your broker is getting his fee. But how are you liking that $640,287 when 5 years ago you were at $940,000? John huffed, "Well, I'm not buying an annuity. My broker says you will sell me an annuity, and annuities are a scam for seniors. You're going to lock up my money." Yes, John, your broker seems to know a lot about what is a scam for seniors. Plus, putting your money in a fixed investment at a higher degree of safety to avoid any more losses sure sounds like a terrible idea, doesn't it? And John said, "But what if the market goes up? It always goes up again." And then I told John what he was never expecting to hear. You can have both, John. No, not that, John. You can have security and growth. During a market downturn, your gains are locked in, plus you can't outlive the income. And this is when it happened. I introduced John to the perfect investment for him. I showed him benefits like they can invest in the stock market and get returns like the stock market, but they can be guaranteed to never lose any money, putting their money with a company that is guaranteed and insured. And it can be Medicaid friendly to protect their future. Oh, and their children? They will receive the full value at death. And most importantly, John and Jane will not run out of income. So we had taken care of their safety and security. In 2012, when we met John and Jane, they were going down a bad road. They later admitted to me they felt helpless. They realized there were uncontrollable forces facing their retirement. We found that they were underestimating life expectancy, average age 87 for women, 82 for men. They had chosen the wrong investment strategies to achieve financial longevity for retirement. They were choosing not to revise their plans, even though what they were doing was digging them deeper and deeper and deeper in debt. They had their assets unprotected. When we met, they were down to $640,000. But that isn't a terrible retirement, and you can make it work. But you have to put an end to the bleeding. You have to lock in your gains. They were also paying unnecessary income taxes, and when you have $640,000, income taxes are a killer. Then again, when aren't income taxes a killer? So the reason they ended up in my office is because of the minor changes I spoke about that ended up making major differences in John and Jane's life and how they are spending their retirement. You have your own story and your own wishes for the future, but some of the issues John and Jane have faced will be relatable to your own. Many Americans are concerned about having enough money to pay their bills down the road and are not always aware of how proper planning can help address those fears. There are many different types of financial products, and researching for your proper fit is a crucial step to securing your financial future. To request your 7-point checklist and see if your retirement is on the right track, simply fill out the form to the right of this video.